Now, listen, you guys, the title swindler is out there scrambling because Jane Doe, the alleged victim, is coming through with some allegations of intimidation from the title swindler after he had gone further to say that, listen, he's going to be suing Jane Doe and insinuating that Jane is out there saying that, well, she was lying. And all of this is happening amidst the divorce rumors. And we're also going to be discussing about Sherri Shepherd's calling out Megan Thee Stallion for her fashion at the Oscars red carpet. And as you might have expected, her fans are already screaming, "Protect Black women." Shocking. Of course, it's not shocking. It's actually hilarious. We're also going to be discussing about lottery ticket inserting herself in this bad baby situation. And Charlemagne is out there be-wording academics into addressing the iHeartMedia lawsuit that was dropped, dismissed. I don't know exactly at this point what to call it because the narratives that are going out, they are different. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about Sherri Shepherd and Bongo 2. Now, you guys know that recently Bongo 2 did walk the Oscars in a Vanity Fair Oscar party, basically wearing a very interesting dress, and that has received mixed feelings from the public, with some people feeling like it was a little bit too much, especially for the Oscars, and some people feeling like, well, who cares? She's not the first celebrity to wear that. And some people are saying, well, the Oscars and other events are different. That's like a classy award show where, even children are watching, even teens are watching. And so some fans are expressing their disappointment in her choice of outfit. I will say that I do also think that the reason why people are holding her to this high standard is because we all know that she's the prime example of a black woman, and she also does need more protection than any other black woman. So it's only fair that people would come out here and, of course, expect more from the, model black woman. Everybody should look up to Megan Thee Stallion because she's that person. Of course, I'm just kidding. But yeah, maybe that's where the expectations are stemming from, where we are being reminded every single time that you're so precious and you need to be protected in a different way from other black women. So maybe the expectations are coming from there. But anyway, Sherri decided to check the behind out of Bongo 2 and many other women. Okay, it wasn't just Bongo. So relax, the Bongorians should relax.
This was fully, you could see everything. Zoe Kravitz graced us with her butt crack. You could see everything. Megan Thee Stallion wore a dark green gown with only matching green pasties to cover up her breasts. And so this is where I have to put my Auntie Sherri wig on. And I say this with all of the love that I have. Ladies, this is not it. And I say this because there are young women, young girls who are looking up to all of you. All of you. And, like, you're gonna have these young girls, these young ladies emulating you. And you remember when your grandmother would tell you, let them use their imaginations. Be a little mysterious. But when they look at these girls, they don't have any secrets. Nobody gets to use imagination or their mind. And I want to say, Megan Thee Stallion, I love you. I do. But I'm so upset because God gave you a legitimate gift. You are amazing with your lyrical rhymes and how smart you are. And I know people, a lot of these celebrities, they say they don't want to be a role model. But here's the thing. It comes with the territory, being a role model. You can't escape it because, Megan, when you said you graduated from college, do you know how many young girls you inspired to go to school also? You didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for that, but they were watching you. And I know people say, well, Lil' Kim did it. But I remember when I saw it, I was like, why is she doing that? Like, she doesn't have to do that because she's so talented. And I know Megan as an artist, you get a little raunchy. I didn't heard WAP and Body Yaddy Yaddy. But I also say, and I listen to those songs too, but I also say, to whom much is given, much is required. And if you say, well, how do I know that these young girls are looking up to you? Because they look up to me too. And I get more girls coming up to me, young girls saying, Miss Sherri, I want to be a talk show host, or I want my own talk show, or I want to be an actress. I want to do what you do. So they are watching. And I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm just concerned where all this is going. I said it before when I talked about Kanye's wife who went to the Grammys last month, and she took off her coat and had nothing on. It literally, it wasn't just her cookie jar. We saw cakes and croissants, too, when she was standing there. But the one thing I would say is she looked very uncomfortable. At the end of the day, if you look at his wife, she looked, Bianca Cinciori or something like that, she looked really uncomfortable because you're standing in front of a bunch of men who are watching it. And this is what I said, we have to think about our future. And all y'all who are sitting out there, these young girls that are emulating you, they don't have security around them. So they're emulating you, and they go to these parties and something tragic could happen. These are our future, these young women and these young men. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I love all of y'all, but Auntie Sherri has spoken. And that's the thing. You ain't gotta go dressing like a, I don't want to call out, or you don't have to, dress down to your ankle. Willie made me wear this long dress. But I'm just saying, just think about it when you're putting on this stuff. Like, who am I influencing? Who's going to be watching me? You never know. You never know. So that's it. Off my soap.
Well, there you heard that, you guys. There you heard what Sherri had to say. It seems like she was like literally in her auntie mode. And I'm pretty shocked, I have to say, because the Sherri that I know would just go with the flow. Okay, you gave us something for this one. I will give you that. And so yeah, her fans, however, are not happy with this. Because they are saying that, listen, Sherri wouldn't be saying this about any other woman. If it was a YT woman, she wouldn't be saying this. And this is how you know that Bongo 2 fans don't even pay attention. As soon as they see Megan and they perceive that it's something negative, their immediate response is protect black women. Because what do you mean Sherri wouldn't say this about YT women? Yet she just spoke about Bianca in the same breath. Yet in the same clip, she just spoke about different women from different races and nationalities. So I do not understand if the Bongorians even listen to anything at all. Or as soon as you see Megan Thee Stallion criticism, it's protect black women. Take out your sympathy week, Megan. What? But anyway, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, you guys, we are going to be talking about Jay-Z and, of course, the alleged case, okay? Now, you guys do know that earlier on, Jay-Z was being sued for very, very, scary allegations tied to the diddler. And since then, Jay-Z has denied any association with who used to be his friend, his former friend, I guess, the diddler. I don't know if that actually is true, that they're not friends, or if it's just a PR thing. But, well, Jay-Z has decided to counter-sue Jane Doe. And, they are alleging that Jane Doe at some point did admit that she was lying about the lawsuit and stuff like that. And also, I was like, okay, maybe it's actually true. Maybe Jane Doe, really something is happening. Maybe she got coerced by someone to say things against Jay-Z. I was like, well, for them to come through with these, very, very serious allegations, they must have, some evidence of some sort. Shockingly, today, Jane Doe is now coming through and is crying intimidation. Now, personally, I'm not saying this happened, but personally, am I surprised that Jane Doe would come through and say that this is intimidation? I wouldn't. If I'm going to be honest, I really wouldn't. And some of you are wondering why Jay-Z is still proceeding with this case. And you guys are saying, well, if the case got dismissed, what's the point of still going further to try and sue Jane Doe? Now, if any of you remember, the other time I did do a video of a lawyer breaking it down and saying that, well, Jay-Z's lawsuit with Jane Doe got dismissed, not because he didn't do it. The basis is it's not that, no, I didn't do it, but the basis is technicalities, where they were like, listen, when this happened, when this is being purported to have happened, well, the law was not yet in place, and this and that, and this and that. And so that still leaves him with the stain on his name. And that man that I inserted the other day did say the same thing, to say, listen, it's going to take a lot of more cleansing for him to go past this lawsuit. Even legally, it might have been dismissed because the courts didn't say you didn't do it. The courts just said, well, you're right. When this is, alleged to have happened, the laws were not in place. So he's still fighting to try and clear his name. And this is a permanent stain on his name. So I hope that makes you understand why we are still having this discussion. It's about them trying to wash him clean, trying to get a confession, trying to erase that something like this happened, trying to erase totally, completely the allegations. And some people are also coming through with the theory that, well, it might be because they are trying to intimidate future victims from speaking. Now, I personally don't know how far true that is, but am I shocked? You already know my answer, okay? But anyway, let me insert what the Breakfast Club had to say about this entire situation. And as usual, Charlemagne tone deaf. Like, he will literally just interject and say some nonsense just so it may appear like he's supporting Jay-Z. Like, what does this man have on you? The same way these guys gag and are not afraid of addressing anything Diddy related, you can see the same energy when it's about the title swindler. And it's not a good look, Charlemagne. But anyway, here's what they had to say.
Jane Doe, on behalf of Jane Doe, her attorneys go and they file a response, their own suit. Not their own suit, I'm sorry, they file a response. And they're saying that she, in this response filed, she sticks by her story. And she's saying that she is intimidated and that she is terrified.
How? Don't nobody even know who you are.
Well, in this new legal doc that was obtained by TMZ, she says that Jay-Z was trying to bully her into saying the accusations are bogus. The woman is claiming that she was recently approached outside of her home and cornered by two people who told her they were investigators working for one of Jay's lawyers. She then claims that people tried to get her to sign an affidavit stating claims against Jay-Z were false, but she refused. The woman also claims that the alleged investigators asked her if Tony Busby sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue the false claims against Jay-Z. Both these allegations she has denied in these documents. And she claims the alleged confrontation led her to be intimidated and terrified, wondering how they found her and her identity, and because she had remained anonymous in all of the media reports in the legal proceedings.
So she's saying that they found her.
Yes. The woman even claims her parents were approached by two investigators asking similar questions about Busby and the rape story. Now, again, this is the same woman from back in 2000, but this back and forth all went down yesterday.
Didn't the same dad say he doesn't remember driving his daughter, and he would remember that because the drive is such a long drive?
100%. But she is claiming that her parents were approached by the two investigators asking similar questions about Busby and the rape story. But to your point, Envy, back in that was the NBC interview that this accuser did. Back in that interview, she did. Her father did say that was 5 hours from the home. He would remember picking her up after that incident, and he did not remember. So all of this back and forth, and I don't know where this ends, because it seems like whoever Jay's team spoke to, this woman is completely saying something different when she gets with her attorneys. But I will say that in Jay's filing, they also did ask for her to remain anonymous or whatever because of different like mental things that she's dealing with. It. Whatever is happening behind the scenes here, I think that this, to me, just an opinion, this woman doesn't seem competent to withstand anything legally, and stories keep changing, and we saw that. We heard her do that in NBC story, so I don't know why anyone wouldn't back off of this.
Well, the case has been dismissed already, right?
Yeah, that case has been dismissed and it can't be brought back up. But now, because Jay-Z is suing them, you know what I mean, for everything that they took him through,
as he should.
They're trying to fight back against that. So
Well, there you heard that, you guys. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, still talking about the title swindler, news on the street is that, well, they are divorce, talks between the title swindler and of course his wife Beyonce. Now we did talk about something like this back then when this lawsuit initially dropped and things were getting heated and there were divorce rumors and stuff like that, and now we're randomly seeing just an article that is saying the same thing. Now personally, do I believe this? I do not. If anything, I do feel like this is a PR backup plan to see where these lawsuits are going to go, because if Jane Doe is now coming through and saying that, well, there's intimidation, and if these lawsuits are still going on, there might just be the need for her to protect her brand. So maybe this is a thing where she's getting ready to, like, if things go left, she's just like, well, if you look online, the divorce rumors started way back, so I do not condone whatever this man did. That's what I feel. I strongly feel like it's a situation where she's getting ready and covering her behind so that her brand does not get attached to this man. And I don't believe that that woman can just wake up and decide to divorce that man, the title swindler. I don't think so. I don't believe so. In my own opinion, I do feel like there's more that we don't see on the surface, and I think that man has got so much power over that lady, and it kind of sucks, but that's exactly what it gives. So the whole Radar article, personally, it was curated in my own opinion. Okay, I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's giving curated, it's giving backup plan. If all comes to the worst, this is what we're gonna go with, and we're gonna be citing that old Radar article to say that, well, a close source did say that they were divorce allegations. So I'm in no way, form, or shape in support of this man. What he did was absolutely disgusting. Now shut up. And here is another tour of Cowboy Carter. I'm just kidding. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, you guys, we're going to talk about Lottery Ticket. It seems like Lottery Ticket has gotten so desperate to the point where she has tried to insert herself now in the Bhad Bhabie situation, in the Bhad Bhabie and Alabama situation. And thank you to some of you who came in the comment section telling me this is not how you pronounce Bhad Bhabie. I thought all this time that her name was Bhabie, because what? I didn't pay attention to her. The last time that I paid attention to the girl was when she was on Dr. Phil. Like everything else after that, I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time paying attention to this. So thank you very much, you guys, for correcting me. Bhad Bhabie, I hope I'm saying it correctly. So Lottery Ticket, as usual, has decided to insert herself in something that is trending that doesn't concern her. Now, I would like to say I'm shocked, but no, she always does this. She always does this to trend. She does this to get some form of reaction from people, because in a group chat, some of her fans asked their big mama, what do you think about the Alabama and Bhad Bhabie situation? Oh my God, if I F up and just say Bhabie, please guys forgive me. That's something that I had programmed in my mind for quite a long time. And Lottery Ticket responded to that messiness and said, Bama better, okay? And then she also said, Bhad Bhabie been off the map for a minute, okay? So that means that now she's coming after Bhad Bhabie. And in my own opinion, she's probably baiting the girl so that the girl can start beefing with her, and then people can remember that she exists, because nowadays the only time that people are paying attention to her is if she's promoting Nokia, a song by her brother-in-law Drake, allegedly, okay, because they say that Drake dated her little sister. I don't know how far true that is, but that is the only time that Lottery Ticket is out there trending nowadays, when she says, oh, Nokia this, Nokia that. So I do believe that at the moment she might be seeking relevancy with Bhad Bhabie, okay? Anyway, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about academics and Charlemagne the God. You guys do know that Drake had an issue, a petition against iHeartMedia. And for those of you who do not know, iHeart is heavily attached with Charlemagne the God. And the allegations in the petition were that, iHeart polarized, not like us and stuff like that. And a couple of days ago, it was reported that, well, iHeart iHeart and Drake have reached an agreement, and Drake has decided to drop the petition, which had some Drake fans feeling like, listen, he won the suit because they must have paid him something, they must have admitted to the polarization of Not Like Us. However, it seems to not be the case. It seems like the two parties just got to an explanation of how things work, to the point where Drake was like, okay, I'm just gonna drop my petition because whatever you're saying makes sense. Now I don't know, because a couple of days ago I came through and I was telling you about iHeartMedia getting investigated for payola and giving artists ultimatums. So I don't know at this point if iHeartMedia gave Drake an ultimatum just as they did give the artists that they were forcing or coercing rather to perform for free. So I don't know how the petition went down and how it got dismissed. But of course, Charlemagne the God is not here for it. And he's like, listen, academics, you had so much energy talking about iHeartMedia and the lawsuit. Please make other videos and vindicate us and tell your people that we are innocent. Please, Charlemagne, you got a plaque for a song. You got a plaque for promoting a song. So, of course, even if the lawsuit was dismissed, you are not dismissed because we know you. So let me just insert Charlemagne and academics back and forth about this entire situation. One thing is for sure, academics has got some form of respect or loyalty to Charlemagne, because Charlemagne sometimes really do be saying some wild things about academics, but that's one person that academics chooses to not beef with. Anyway, let me just insert what these two people had to say, and then I'll catch you guys after that. And no, I don't think I'll actually catch you after that. But thank you for watching. Thank you for making it this far. Please subscribe. Go also subscribe to Instant Brew, because I will be serving you tea. That's as soon as we hit 1,000. I think majority of my uploads are going to be on Instant Brew. Until my next one, see you.
Okay, so y'all remember the whole legal back and forth that Drake had happening in Texas with like iHeart, and he was alleging that Universal Music Group was paying money to iHeart radio stations over Not Like Us and boosting the streams. So there have been reports that there was an alleged settlement, but that is not what happened.
What happened?
Well, we know nobody cares about the truth and the lies more entertaining, but I need DJ academics and all the Drake fan pages to gather around to get the truth regardless.
Get the facts.
It's simple. What Drake filed against iHeart wasn't a lawsuit. What he filed was a petition.
Yes.
And it was a petition to try to make iHeart give a deposition. So Drake wasn't asking for money. He was asking for information. Right. So iHeart could not have made a payment. iHeart could negotiate to give Drake documents or something else showing they didn't do anything wrong. And once Drake received those documents and saw that there was nothing there, he could agree to drop his petition. And that's exactly what happened. Okay, he simply dropped his petition because after he saw what he needed to see, he realized iHeart was not engaged in any of the actions that he was accusing them of. End of story. And I know Drake fan pages won't run with that because it's not as entertaining as saying, iHeart settled with Drake for money, and Drake was right all along. But, no, your guy Drake simply dropped the lawsuit, or dropped the petition because there was nothing there. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
The next day. It's now being reported that his other petition, which was filed in Bexar County, Texas, that was against iHeartMedia and UMG, has also been dismissed after a notice was put into the court that seemed like they reached a settlement. Now, I gotta warn all Drake fans again, this probably doesn't mean that Drake got paid at all. It just means that Drake has came to some type of amicable agreement about how to proceed in this situation, whether that might be he is going to sue them, or maybe they will give him access to certain things that it could help his ongoing lawsuit versus UMG. Essentially here, the only people he's going to be suing is UMG. The Spotify lawsuit was dropped. Or not lawsuit, the Spotify petition was canceled, and this is basically happening and is going to result in the same type of thing. So, I mean, that lawsuit, we're going to see what happens. Clearly, Universal is in a very interesting place with Drake because, his contract is due to be re-upped after the next solo album, but they're still doing deals with him to get out other projects. For example, this project with Party Next Door, and obviously they're working with what do you call that label? Sony. However, these companies, I would imagine, kind of are not going to forget. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that Spotify, it was really hard to find his music, and the charting of his music was a little funny after he filed a petition that was basically threatening to sue him. Now, iHeartMedia, I think that's gonna also be an interesting thing. If you don't know how songs get charted, and by the way, if we think about Nokia, which seems to be his most popular song right now, they do count radio. Radio airplay is still counted in the formula to calculate which songs are the hottest songs in the country, which is the Billboard Hot 100. Radio play isn't calculated in the calculation for the album that sells the most. So all of that, Drake's album is whatever. So what usually happens is that when Drake drops a project, or not project, a song, if it's kind of moving, a lot of times you'll have like a director of that region, it could be the Northeast or whatever, for iHeart. They're going to make a call to say, yo, everybody put Drake's song in rotation, right? It's the first day it's out. People want to hear it. Just put it in rotation. Now, what that does is already gives that song's points. So at the end of the week, or the first charting week, it's going to then fall into this equation that's going to make him chart high, right? Of course, he's doing great streams. He's doing great buys. But radio play matters. So when we see that Drake settles his legal dispute, we got to think about what it meant when he settled supposedly with Spotify. It didn't mean Spotify paid him a dime. I think he realized they probably, I don't know what that conversation should be. But do I think that iHeartMedia is cool with Drake now? Fuck no. And I would imagine that they would be falling back from any Drake songs that they would have to voluntarily put in rotation, as opposed to there's campaigns ran by Drake's label or Party's label that's going to put those songs in rotation. So again, I know Drake fans want to hear good things, and they're like, oh, well, he settled this legal dispute. He got paid a bunch of money. No. He most likely got information that made him a little bit more abreast of what the situation is with Universal, and he's going to use that for the Universal lawsuit. And his plan was never to actually sue iHeart or Spotify. However, I still think both of them are affecting him, because he literally he's now viewed as a litigant, right? Like, yo, you're the person who is the plaintiff or potential plaintiff trying to sue us. Why the fuck are we going to give you anything that's going to benefit you? So we're going to see, man. But for the Drake fans who have been thinking that this is like an amazing thing, that Drake got some huge lump sum of money, I would think not. I would think this was maybe at most he got information, right? Maybe he got some data, some documents, some historical facts about his song or his career and them, or how they do business with UMG. But that's about it. I don't think he's getting no big ass lump sum. That's not happening, if you ask me. All right. Okay. Anyway, chat. I think I'm gonna call it here, man.
One or two.
It took